The chain, is it big enough? I was thinking of getting a bigger one. I can be a thug, we can all be thugs in certain situations. Welcome to this ultimate guide on thugging in Beyond All Reason. Now, am I the best thug out there? No. However, I can tell you I was the ultimate thugging noob. I hated the things. I died ferociously when using thugs. I learnt where they're good, where they're not good, and I'm going to show you guys the discovery I made. Now, I could break down the stats and how they stack up against other units and really go into it, but I'm just going to actually play this song for you, which has the stats on it, tell some hard truths. Okay, let's go.
Look, check the stats, check the stats, check the stats, check the stats. Look, check the stats, check the spread, check the data. Hit point 1100. See you later. Bye. I don't care about a pawn or a raider. I'm a heavy set, metal plated Terminator, move speed 45. Yeah, I'm creeping. Why you trying to take the two? Boy, you sleeping. Range is 380. Yeah, I'm reaching, breaching through the wall. Yeah, I'm teaching. Plasma cannon heavy, yeah, it rotates. Or the full burst, yeah, the low rates. Never mind that. Keep the metal at the toll gates. Watch me repair while your front breaks. Wait, why you building LLTs? That's a tickle. We soaked the beam. Now you in a pickle. You tryna D-gun? Man, you fickle. My thug walked right through it. Left a trickle. 10 of these boys, that's a riot. Your whole front line, yeah, it's quiet. Cortex going heavy unit. Yeah, we try it. You're taking T2, now we buy it. Dumb micro. Yeah, you panic. How you tryna build a shield? That's satanic. Evil. I'm in your metal spot. You ain't got static. Building wind turbines. Man, that's tragic. Focus fire. Know you spread it. Now my metal's full. Yeah, I fed it. You want that reclaim? Come and get it, thug ball rolling in. Yeah, you dead it. Look, I don't need a vehicle. I got legs. Walking through the fire. Better than sex. Energy stalling. Better check your solar. My thugs in your main base. They so deep, you can need sonar. Thugs rolling. Generated by bro, it's like we be trolling in this rap, so you get back to scrolling.
All right, I hope you appreciated that. Took me half a day, that song. It was great. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to show you where they're good. All right, game number one. This demonstration game, we're up against Ironstorm, so really easy game. We're building one LLT, pretty OP, in case you didn't know. All the best players do it. Now, sorry mate, is this your name Sierra? I remember it being something like that. Doing a pretty good job with the rocket bots here, honestly. Let one go there, that's, run away. We're here with our thugs. Yo yeah, thugging, look at them walking. Bushda. And we've got our little group of grunts here, quite orderly. Moving across, getting hit by our own team. There we go. Oh, I donated them. So we've got Gamer Ivan here, also starting to bring some thugs up. Now I wanted to say there's a little bit behind this. So we're at the 6-minute mark. And the one thing is, if you do not prioritize building thugs, you won't get up a critical mass fast enough for them to really win the initial battle. Because we had to build those grunts to establish control early on, especially in these higher OS lobbies. We're taking a chance and building this forward warden here, because he's overbuilt the LLTs. And we want to basically punish Gamer Ivan for that, as he tries to hang on here. So we've got a small little army, and he's only bringing up the Masai now. Gone a little bit late, trying to do fancy things. We see a construction turret here. Probably actually not a bad play putting it back that far, considering the danger he's about to be in. Gamer Ivan. And we're protecting the forward warden with the commander, and we're willing to take a casualty or two from the thugs here, being very aggressive, because we know if we allow them to focus on that, it's going to go down. Now it's up, he's got to retreat. And look at the range on that, beautiful. We sniped a thug right away there. The warden definitely gives us some comfort, because then we can't have any rocketeers up against us in general if we're getting beaten with our maces. Now look at how all these maces have suddenly got built and put on the front line. So it's lucky we got that warden up in time. Now there has been talk about the maces, the way they fire. They're not able to fire in a group as easily as the thugs. I'm not sure if that's just conjecture or someone's opinion. I'm going to try and have a look and get back to you guys. Continue to watch my videos when I play maces. But they don't seem as cool, and that checks out. Moving forward here, I mean, well outnumbered. I don't know what I'm doing back in base. I'm just going crazy with the eco, obviously, to not get enough thugs up here. We don't need to worry about it. We got the Warden. And we got the Fatboy. Now it's all coming together. We've got this little forward base here to protect the Fatboy. We've got 2 radars, and we're going to eventually have a Castro. Now the thugs are really good at providing line of sight, which is a bit more accurate for the Fatboy. Now of course it's getting microed from Sierra, but still we're able to form this protective shield. No commander can get past this with a sneaky jam put down. The thugs are only going to have a limited time there. There's only so much damage they can soak after all. But look at this in good hands. Even this is a nerfed Fatboy, right? This is how OP it was before. It would explode the whole area of effect. Now it only sort of half explodes it, but it's still unbelievably good. See, if it doesn't right hit things, it doesn't do that much damage. Okay, we've actually got a standoff here where the Fatboy can't take down this super heal Gauntlet. And now we're between the Fatboys. Oh yeah, this is where it's at. Maybe we can get away with murder here. Surely it's going to pop us sooner or later. But these Fatboys are in a death fight. Look, it's been able to get away while our thugs have taken the beating. Let's see how our forward base goes. So it's under this intense pressure all the time. We just keep this thing healed up. There's Warden, 23 kills so far. Down here, look at those thugs. Almost took down the Fatboy. That's how good they are. In numbers. We haven't quite had the numbers this game. Eventually gets taken down, but the thugs are still a part of it. I'm still building them. Didn't go too good there. This is against Ironstorm. So the one thing Ironstorm does tempted me by building a line of artillery there, then right away saw those thugs with a tick, I believe, and put it back there and sniped all my thugs. So there you go. That's the limits of them against a really good player with artillery. We're not going to go too well. There we see. So transition into T2. We've even got some eco going up, and we're building arbiters to do this guerrilla warfare against all their spam. Look at this beautiful pork here by Sierra. If your opponent ever builds something like this, an experimental gantry at the front, ambassadors have a ridiculous range. And look, the ticks can't focus them down very fast. I've got all these ticks. I managed to take down one, but there's another ambassador that comes up at the same time. Well within range. Ironstorm's just desperate here. He's easily seen. No jam or anything like that backing this up. That was amazing he gets as far as he does. That's the ploy there. Takes down another ambassador. And we see over on this side, bloody 70 OS, tournament winner, showing Canyon what it's all about. And the North team calls it. In this Canyon spot, we just showed some really high OS play, where thugs can be useful. Mainly it's establishing some control early on, and then basically being a sacrificial shield. Okay, we can see here at the 3-minute mark, we're pretty much producing our thugs at a rapid rate. We're producing some wind. Generally, it's good to have 2 construction bots on the factory as you produce things, otherwise they're a bit slow. Brought up the commander here, so it starts building LLTs well before the 4-minute mark to secure that. Also, I've built about 6 grunts, maybe overbuilt them, but I like to build slightly more grunts than necessary. And also the way I build them is I build them 1 constructor, 1 or 2 grunts, depending. What that allows is me to stop any pushes that suddenly appear close to the base, especially. We just have a grunt coming out. So saved me multiple times that. Having this slow reinforcement line, it doesn't matter, any run bys get through, we can take them out. So we're up against it here with the Pounders. Pretty good counter unit because they've got area of effect. The creeping thugs, they also batter them back. So the thugs in this situation, not really good right up here because we don't have the numbers yet. And by the time you get the numbers, we're dealing with way too much pork. Like the Twin Guard. I don't even know if I realise in this game I'm up against a Twin Guard. We're building an early construction turret. Now we see this creep forward. So really going crazy on the static and vehicles here. And I see this, and I just see where we're at. We can't get away from this damn Twin Guard. It's not looking good, and we can't get this Warden down, which is going to really then dominate our two light laser turrets here. And we're investing into these construction turrets and everything. So this is really going to mess with us. So I do something a little bit different here. I move forward with Roguelike, the commander, and we Combomb it. Because we have got the advantage in thugs, they just had their vehicles and everything just sitting there. Okay, and because they're building vehicles, they don't have money for anything else. We see one vehicle, oh no, there's a few here. But see, they're specialist vehicles, they can't hold ground. They've only got one pounder that can really contest us. And we've got here a lovely 2.5k medal. And that's the aggression. That's where thugs come into their own. So the team's doing everything they can. We're in a reasonable lobby here to stop this push. Single-handedly demolished by this one pounder. But look, thug life, bro. There's just too many. It's one after the other. They don't care. Willing to die for the cause. And we're sucking up all this metal. The LLT behind the walls here, absolutely useless. Any unit's fine behind walls, but the LLT is too high to be effective. Again, the thugs are struggling in these narrow confines against artillery, because they're able to basically hit us. There we go, we moved past the artillery zone, getting sniped on the side here. And this is what I mean about the wall being good for units. We're battering plenty on the wall, but no. But it's a little bit after 12 minutes and almost built our first Arbiter. And we just got to make sure now we're building a little bit of depth and defense. At this time, I'm gifted a Fatboy for my troubles. So we're bringing forward our Arbiter and the Fatboy will do the defending. Now look at this masterclass in pork. Just building pit bulls for me to chew on. I'm here now with a Mammoth and a Fatboy. Trying to move forward some smaller units. Moving forward a little bit and then bats. Oh man. Snicker maneuver. Comes in and deguns our little heavy force. We see Rompy here move forward. Be able to wipe out Canyon there. Wipe out a good deal of the base here. Withdraws for some strange reason. There we go. What a devastating razor attack. So, reasonably high OS lobby, showing a Combomb works really well. Then thug pressure, enabling to get the medal, to tech up, and to go into more the long range pressure. Have it so the other team's just focused on Canyon, and then you can exploit elsewhere. We're up against it this game. We're up against Legion's Fun to Fight, and anyone knows that someone called Legion's Fun to Fight is extremely machoistic. So far, we're getting our asses handed to us. We've tried to move forward with thugs. No fun here. Up against pounders, and almost has a T2 up. Unbelievably. Somehow hides like a ninja. So if you ever get in this position where you want to push forward, definitely put the radar up here to try and spot that commander. I'm going to try and search. Let's see how we go with that. Yeah, it's not fast enough. All the commander has to do as soon as it sees that Fatboy, doesn't care about the thugs. So you have to do a really meticulous search. And lost a Fatboy, so great, up against the top player. So what are we going to do here? Of course we're going to continue with the thugs. I've also built Rascals, because we went for a vehicle plant to try and build some artillery or something. But we've just moved past that now. Now we've actually broken through the front. So gone into T2, but doesn't actually have any units because of that early transition. So the timing of this actually backfires on this very, very good player here. Trying to alert the team this breakthrough's happened. thugs moving forward. Now, the reason the commander done that and just went and sacrificed themselves and actually caused me to blow up is because trying to stop me from degunning this T2 factory, it's all over if I manage to do that. So by the skin of the teeth, we've got one Twin Guard and a Quaker coming out, and that's the whole play here. And what are we going to do with thugs? Not much. Stopping them building any further defences anyway. We can see here I'm starting to build a variety of units, but I just don't quite have enough, as we then had to defend against a foray from the player here, U236. But it's still all exposed. We've got a couple of vehicles there. Anti-Rainbow is just going too well. Solosan dominating with Sheldons. The thugging weird time pressure worked for us there. Even when they appear bad, they're still good. So unfortunately in this game we've mismicroed. We're building this wind farm over this mechs. Oh dear. So we're going to be tested sorely. Now Butter Love is moving out. We've got this thug war on our hands. Pretty cool to see, and an actual grave robber healing up the thugs over here. Very elite tactic from Mr. Apollo. Even degunning some of the thugs. Equalising the numbers. Higher OS players are very good at this, or using the commander to its full potential. It has narrowly changed things, allowing these thug numbers to get up, and look at this. We've pretty much got a dead commander, but will heal up, but has the thug advantage. Now 3 thugs and an LLT, is it enough? It actually isn't. But brings forward the light. Got a transport here. We're actually seeing quite a good thug war. So we're looking at that concave against the mini line, and it's always going to go a little bit better. There aren't quite enough thugs here though to overcome the healing. So Kill Apollo's in a really good position here. You see here Butterlove doing everything against Kill Apollo. For some reason can't quite capitalise on it how I thought he'd be able to. Thugs are just hard. With a commander healing them, they're really hard to kill off. Attacking into this, you'd want almost more than a 2-to-1 advantage. Now here we go, so just willing to take the casualties at this stage to move forward into this thug line, but isn't going to get past these 2 lasers. Look at this. Nice and far back. Very effective. At least managed to get this reclaim here. So what we're doing is we're not even really impacting that at all. We're actually fighting mid and Rainbow here. Good old Karl Marx and Legolas. Legus. It's been a general pain in the butt moving forward all the time. Allowing whole Zovik here get a little bit of help. Attempted run by here from Karl Marx. Sending the comrades to die. Trying to do an Emre. But I think Emre, I don't know, reads the amount of LLTs a little bit better than the average person, so that didn't quite work. We've got Apollo here. This is actually a good demonstration of how hard it is. But you can actually do it, especially with the 2 grave robbers here. Even take down the surround lasers. So has actually completely won the front here, the lane as it were, but we are able to move down now with our decent thug ball and just really outmatch him. Now I'm a little bit worried about this commander. We can see it in full retreat, and at least we can get the reclaim back, yeah? Actually this front stabilised too. So I actually give these to Butterlove because he's done such a knock-up job with it before. And it's a mini payment for this. And we'll try and repair this force, I think. But look at this, all these construction turrets here. And the Pork, the Twin Guards, becoming more popular. I'm building the radar, make sure we can keep an eye on that commander. Oh, look at him. It can be seen on the mini-map with that radar. Apollo has a very offensive mindset here, staying on T1. What's this? Butterlove's built a rattlesnake. Oh, how annoying. Holzkovic just doing a fantastic job with the pork here. All these wardens. It's worked. We've pushed back the northern team here to this line, which is pretty far back really, by the 12-minute mark. Got a really big advantage in the middle because of that. Not having the 3.2 mexes here. Big difference. And these as well actually. So this one will go. And this one will go. Just did. Oh, fighting back here. So the thug ball. I'm dreading what's to happen next. And it's a fatty on the hill by Tarkus. But this rattlesnake is such a well positioned rattlesnake. I've built a little radar there. I'm like, ah, run away. The thug's just staying close in to the cliff here to try and avoid any hits. Although it has actually got microed here. Nope. Just randomly going to go hit that. So I can't actually see the thugs. Oh, there we go. Tried to hit it, and it hit there instead. So being close in did work. Oh, look at this. Is it going to get away? One fighter almost took it down. Taken down by the air. Well positioned rattlesnake. Damn. Putting it right back's an interesting choice, but worked. Blue helping out with the pressure on the front. Zolfic only knows the pressure by static. Look at this response. Yep, arbiters. So now I think the thugs could have continued to pressure and they would have done quite well. So a little bit of waste of metal here. Butterlove asked for the fatty. There we go. Finally we see some pressure. Unfortunate it's on the hill. Look at that. Got EMP'd. Must have been a spy bot there, I guess. Not a bad tactic actually, EMPing and then using arbiters on them. That way you can actually hit them. Wow. Imagine if these thugs had been used before the mammoth and the pitbull. How effective this would have been. So we're doing our own special pressure now because we've been allowed to scale up just a little bit. We've built our anti-nuke. Now we're going down to build a reactor. Oh no, coming to pick up the fatty. Oh, it's going to get it. Learned something there, Butterlove. Always prioritise the anti-air. You've got a front fatty like that. And it's going to get captured. Just in time for red as we move forward here. Now, it's quite a pest against this many arbiters. And I didn't think I was doing much, but I tell you what, these things hit a lot harder, these negotiators, than the arbiters do. Sort of a mysterious unit choice, really. You can be annoying with them, but there's no real way just by building arbiters can you actually win with it. And we actually get help here on the front against red. Not microed to the zenith. Look how far red's been pushed back by this. Saved by snipers from tech. See if we can have some effect on these with negotiators and what have you. Look at them getting blown up. About half of them got blown up then. That's the problem with overbuilding these arbiters. They do tend to group up and they don't have a lot of hit points. Look at all those arbiters. Damn. Only 9 left. Look at that damage efficiency, 61%. Oh, Apollo was playing quite well, really. Just got out-thugged. I'm using the tremor here. I was trying to snipe some of these arbiters. I think I was semi-successful. Didn't expect the snipers. That's what got me. Look at these bloody snipers. It's coming right up. They don't care. I'm trying to get my tremors, that's why. I just give up in the end. I don't get any support. I mean, not up against a mammoth. Getting attacked by quite a number of vanguards here from tech. Getting counter-sniped back from our tremors and vanguards. Lost a couple of them there. We're building this forward experimental gantry. Oh, here we go, the big play. Butterlove just teching up to this point. Taking down a Thor. Oh my god. No, it got around 300 hit points. We're moving up now with our anemic T3 and Tiger. Trying to get away from this pulsar, but just too much is there. Unfortunately, the aggression was left a little bit late there. This is the problem with building anything forward, is EMPs are OP. See it all the time in higher West games. Should have built it back here. I mean, unless I was trying to do a behemoth play or something. They're so incredibly slow. But even then, still get EMP'd. A big push here from red. Apollo. This is all they had to kill this experimental gantry. They done me a favour anyway. It was useless with the EMP. At least gives me something to reclaim now, which we're going to go do. But look at red. Swarm of 100 grave robbers. Resurrecting them. You need to when they're resurrected. 120 grave robbers. Ah! It's got blown up there. Kaboomy. But must just decide that it's worth it. Oh no, it does actually. It go down. Decide it was worth it to resurrect those last few. It comes back and does it again. Like, the vanguards will grow tired of us. No. Got the eco advantage as we're creating titans now. I had to create this funny base here because I needed the construction turrets. So I've stopped ecoing basically at this point, and we're just reclaiming what's here and building titans. Trying to affect the game as much as we can. Kill Apollo's doing a lot with not much. 130 economy, and it's building all these grunts. Crazy. Impressively has all these titans, but no T3 lab. So good thing we have some titans. But I love here just going hard on the razors, building 18 off. Oh god. But has actually built some vanguards, so that's okay. Forward EMP here and Basilica. But look at air here building this. Can you believe it? What the hell? We see the big attack here. Cumulative pressure of all the game. Swarm of razors move forward. Weird swarm. I'm just like, bro. Let's throw them away. Defensive nuke hit our own titans. That was quite funny. Razors trying it again. Didn't have one titan. They don't trade very well with titans though, razors. Yeah, with too much pressure we broke through on the other side. There you go. Canyon done okay. Was it the thugs? Who knows? But they're pretty cool. So I'm not playing in this one. I just wanted to show this thugs plus agitator. Absolutely annihilates. Look at these thugs here. Probably in line of sight for the agitator. Just to get down a succulent agitator shot. Misses completely, of course. Stupid agitator. Now there we go, starting to work on it. Now the DPS is not fantastic, but it's, you know, not the worst thing. Certainly multiplies what the thugs could do by themselves as low DPS troops. And then we see old Vimy moving forward, or I should say Vimmer. Moving forward, getting as much metal as possible. But look at this agitator just dominating, and this is what they're called area control plasma artillery. And yes, at this time there's other things that are long range, but this defends against them as well. As we see these Sheldons come forward. From Intaz, red player, OS 46 by the way, that Vimmer is up against as a lowly 4-chev. Playing very well, and just unable to get past this agitator of death. It's a lot of DPS. There we go, 134. If you allow these things to level up, oh my god. Now sometimes they can just hit spam, and so they don't really level up properly, you don't realise. But when you're actually hitting decent units, it levels up really well. 136 DPS. Suddenly it's a more dangerous unit. I don't think the range goes up, which is unfortunate. But to me that DPS spikes a lot and becomes very much worth it. Now, the forward agitator is a little bit of a risky play, considering the forward bot lab here as well. But You know, I think it seems to be worth it. Look at these hounds. Sent packing. Bat meanies all the way back here, and in Taz, their top OS, totally flummoxed. Being aggressive as possible. The catapult is made at the 20-minute mark just to batter against this. Because Vimmy's taking it down. If there wasn't this catapult here, this Gauntlet would stay till the end of the game, I'm sure of it. It's still alive though. Vimmy's not healing it. Aww. And had a rattlesnake hitting it as well, intermittently. So there you go, needed 2 catapults and a rattlesnake to kill it off in the end, the hero Gauntlet. And we see a heap of spam on the front line. Now I'm not going to play this one out. I forget who wins. I'm pretty sure it's Vimmer's team because of what they've done there. But yeah, you could see the demonstration there, the Gauntlet in the right position. Now in the anti-canyon roll you would think this is too far forward, but if you've got thugs to protect these areas here, why not build it? And it allows you to extend your reach, you know, all the way out to here, guard against anything building there. Now eventually it forced actually Intaz to go totally on the defensive here. We don't see much of an eco at all. Oh, Vimy, look, scaling like a boss. What sort of Porsche are you? Damn. So some excellent plays there, just building the factories too far forward, which even good players do. I just want to see actually, how quickly do these get killed? Like, surely this team's getting sick of this spam. Also, it's really easy to sight the Juno on this, you would think, and spot it with aircraft and then go, oh, and just pop the Juno there. Building a fusion reactor, very cheeky. Okay, the catapult's slowly starting to walk the way forward. The one pulsar nabbed it though. Poor old Vimmer got the worst of it though with the forward base there. Funnily enough, the northern team actually has the eco advantage. The southern team doesn't even have a blue player. Okay, so maybe this wasn't cut and dried. Okay, we see an attack move forward now. Yeah, completely wiped that out, of course. Sniper push is punished, but not before it done its primary task of taking down that 2 forward base. Is useful for building this mammoth, I guess, but now it's again too far forward. Can't defend this very expensive T2 factory. Orange just moves forward with bulls, maces. Just about gets there. Leaves a lot of tasty metal though. An impressive amount of pork here. Yeah, big scout. What are we going to see next? Big air attack. Ah yes. Red. It stopped. Oh my god. Pelican done quite well really. Well, despite Vimmer's best efforts, couldn't salvage that game for their team. The forward gauntlet plate was really effective, made the game go as long as it did. If you're building thugs and you manage to push forward a little bit and get a little bit of reclaim, you might find you do have a little bit excess metal in the bank, and that's the time to build the gauntlet. You can pause the thug production. You can only build, let's say, 15 thugs and that's it. I wouldn't go 10, that's not really enough. You can't even lose one then. But you might just say go 15 thugs and yeah, that's enough, and combine it with a gauntlet, especially a forward gauntlet and some static defense. Really, really powerful. On a narrow map, especially like Glitters. In a reasonably high OS lobby for this game, we see here I'm No Balance punishing, feeding, in a line the ticks. Actually managing to sort of break through there. It's pretty cool. Gets caught out in the end though. Inevitably will happen. Oh, look at this. How annoying. Stopped by the shurikens. Thank God. Now we're a little bit tardy getting up to the front line. I usually am from all the way in the corner. But at least we've got like 4 thugs relatively early on here before the 5-minute mark. And we're putting back this light laser tower just to not make it too easy to be reached by the rocket bots. Any forays forward. It's just going to back us up if they attempt to do a run by, basically. That's the idea of that first tower. A little bit of depth in defence. So we're getting around the flank of this wall because we continually hit the units and the wall here. Got a little bit too close to Agitator there, punished us. And we lost 2 thugs. Agitator has spent the wad of the remaining hit points and can no longer support on the front. This isn't enough to really take us down too much. Just that damn wall is stopping their imminent destruction. Even though we see pretty even metal, like just slightly less, and supported by LLT, should be enough, right? No. Mixed units with thugs don't work early on. It just doesn't in a pure thug army. Takes down those LLTs super easy and forces the line back here, which is a definite loss for Yukata. Here we go again, putting down the wall, but that's not going to protect the LLT at all. Moving the troops forward, so going on the offensive here. Again, probably a bit of a noobish move by spending the troops this way. Still we outnumber. Yep. Although we both haven't got much in the way of hit points, we've been able to pretty much win this. I'm just feeding through rocket troops at the current time, getting too close. Rocketeers have to stay on the outside, they cannot match thugs close up. Look at them. They really suffer. Took down an LLT at the same time, and I don't have enough thugs really. I can never get enough up when I'm aggressive like this. Unless I really try and micro the healing and da-da-da. But in this case, we wouldn't have been able to overrun Yukata if I'd hung back too much. So we're up against, I guess, Wolverines, which makes it hard to attack into canyon without us taking a lot of attrition. So we see here another thug off, sitting behind the remnants of the wall, retaking position temporarily. But we have an opportunity here. Sort of. Look at that Fatboy. We just walk right back, we're like, nah. This is how nerfed it is. Like, would have just blown everyone up before, but now it's just like this tight grouping of thugs are still alive. How good's that? Yep, so now we're separating them out with the heal micro command, and we can support wherever we need to. Didn't lose those thugs, that felt pretty good. Finally, I'm getting the news and we're building something on the front line here. Some spam out of the T1 factory and then building a T2 vehicle factory. Been a little bit adventurous, but you'll notice it's not too far forward. The thug's just making a nice defense. DT stymied, also on the canyon, can't move out. And blue here, we actually gifted these grunts, I believe, yeah, and the thugs. Thugs weren't used that well necessarily, but we managed to wipe out this here, so who cares? And we're contributing with the negotiators at the moment. Now we're moving forward, we see an opportunity here of weaker defences. And so we go for this bomb. Look at this thing, it survives, it lives. Oh, we take that down. So old DT didn't build enough pork. So pretty much Rainbow's exposed, Canyon's exposed, Commander goes down. Did take down our negotiators, which was sort of annoying. Small counterattack here from Red, who had to pretty much go across from the carry position. Using grunts pretty well here to stop the artillery and Starlight, but we see this counterattack happening, so Red can't be everywhere at once. And we're supporting also, we see this push, and we're using Tigers to at least take out the opportunities we can here. Interestingly, the spiders are just hanging. Go past the spiders, right into the base, the constructor turrets. Good run by units, the Tigers. That game just shows when aggression's used right, and why Emre's just so dangerous with grunts. But even just having that push out at the start, and I think thugs getting a certain amount of them and following them up with a lot of grunts, making sure the eco is scaling up, and just to get something like negotiators followed into Tigers to then have more heft, they're even more effective thug if you like. So that's a pretty good build. You'll go far with that if you want to play that pressure style of play. Armada's better with early vehicles, and it's quite a significant difference. So you're always at this disadvantage with Cortex, and you've got to be smart how you handle it. So we're going to show what to do and what not to do. It's quite an OP lobby, this one, so it's a good demonstration of what I'm going to talk about here, and that is where thugs aren't good. and they aren't good in these narrow positions. And anywhere where you've got a narrow position where you're going to end up fighting your wars, thugs probably not the best choice. And this will make it really evident. Now, if your opponent goes thugs or something like that, but even if they go rocket bots, you could be in real strife. The whole point of thugs is to be able to get a critical mass of them, form a sort of concave, and have that freedom of movement back and forth. So right away, we're up against TM8D, an OS38 at the moment. This is the early build we're doing, so we're coming up with the early thugs. I think, honestly, surprising TM8D that we would be picking thugs. My guess was predicting rocket bots at least, but we're getting down that laser turret nice and early here. Very interesting building back first. Is that the meta thing, is that I always come up here. So we're actually moving to the side here. I just move away a little bit, and look, I get punished. So this is a pretty bad mistake, but you will get punished like this in OP lobbies. At least we took down half of the hit points of Daddy Pain. 3 thugs, that's not too bad. So see, ideally positioned lasers here. Lost a Centurion, it's pretty bad. Lost 2 Centurions, so TM8D not necessarily doing the best either. I'd consider we're fairly even at this point. Definitely hasn't overbuilt and has actually already reclaimed that back. So switched over as soon as it sees me going thugs, is going the anti-thugs unit. 1 Whistler, I guess for anti-air and sight. It's always good to get 1 Whistler out. 1 Janus, and then followed by artillery. OP combination. And all we've got is LLTs and not enough thugs. And right away we're in panic mode here. Everything's sort of staying alive, but it's really hard against 5 of them. The Whistler was just that one thing too much. We're moving forward in desperation, but the Janus is just there at the right time. Not too bad an exchange, that one, but we can't really lose any thugs at all against this force. So I'm trying to play as optimally as I can. Just about finished with the geothermal there. 1 lost artillery fire, that's really annoying. TM8D here moving down, trying to help support and tank the thugs a bit as the artillery can work on us. It's been now really forward with the LLTs. And we see these Janus here. Now I've got 2 of them just blow me up. 2 Janus, all they need to really cause a horrific amount of damage. My commander's mostly dead. This is awful. And I just leave him there just for a moment. I'm just like, oh no, I'm too slow. And TM8D punishes it. Look at that. Ah. Oh. Yeah, so those 4 Januses were good, and we needed to have rocket bots against them, but just transitioned really fast and responded to the force I had. So we've just got this really weak lane here against TM8D, especially with I went thugs. But fortunately we're strong elsewhere and we're making progress on this side of the map. There we go, finally we've got rocket bots. How much better do these guys perform? And what does this look like from TM8D's? Yeah, you can just see he's getting sniped and there's no real way to fire back, so it's time to retreat. Getting hit from 2 sides, it's not a good position for TM8D to be in. Now look at this, we could have actually gone across here. That's crazy. With the exception of the T2 lab building things. We do see a little bit of a movement forward. Unfortunately just going into those defences, but it doesn't matter anyway because I'm pretty sure the northern team is going to resign here. Here we go, we see blue exploit. Yeah, the better players like Stixler here can see where those weak spots are, and it's just a matter of time before they get a run by on them. So that was a failure game. Now I want to show you the good game. So we're starting out with ticks because we're a martyr, baby. Built an OP energy storage. Must have been optimistic. Small attempted run by here. I feel like ticks are really bad at stopping just normal pawn run bys. A Rocketeer is randomly able to land a rocket. They're so slow firing, aren't they? Look at it, just dodges the rockets like easily. Oh, how annoying. So not the best start to the game. I had an issue before facing this offensive and this collection of units that would move forward here like the Janus and whatnot. So we're going to get this Warden down here. And we're going to get the con turret all the way back here so they can't snipe it. So we move forward here with our commander. We actually sniped something there, so that was good. So the rocket bots are much better match up against the vehicles, but we've gone straight into vehicles ourselves and we've reclaimed that bot lab. We're not going too shabby on the eco either. The Janus doing a weird old attack against this radar here, couldn't even hit it. But fortunately we've held them off till the Overwatch is up. Now we're fine. And TM8 is going to have a really hard time even seeing this. Look, we've just put it out of the way of the radar. What an annoying spot to put it. Yeah, just a few rocket bots here can control this area much better. It's all thanks to the range of 475. And I believe, yes, we have a radar, so I can at least see the radar returns. And if we're not that accurate, it's better than nothing. Now what good players do is they put the little camera up around here on the sides, so you can actually get line of sight. Now we've got the shell shockers, we're moving forward, and the Januses. And now we see that concave defense force. TM8D utterly stymied and going into T2 right now. We're not, because we just don't have the same sort of resources TM8D does. Better just have units on the board for us. We try and attack through the narrow part. That's never going to work. It's only useful if we can sit behind and yeah, we can sort of nab units that want to retain this spot. But if you sit back here, you don't have to worry about the T1 artillery. So I think that's why TM8D habitually builds this beamer here, is because it really is far back from the artillery. And we have to start taking casualties to try and defeat that. But look at Daddy Payne here, trying to Combomb us. What the? So we exchanged comms, really wanted to get rid of this Overwatch. Needed a breakthrough. I think that was my constructor, D-Gun. That's alright, no one gets the medal. Leash done a really good job there. And we've got this annoying dragon's claw on top of everything. Totally stymies these spiders, so the big push doesn't work. Look how Janus actually took one of them down. So spiders aren't that good. They're really not. Build some static, build some patrolling Janus. Geez, have a few artillery there just to chip away at them. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do anything. I think it's all over. We see a big run by here. Spiders come out. In this position, play this. Go Armada vehicles. Any tight position, it's going to be better for you. In an open position, where it's really hard to get the numbers of Janus up and effectual, and also thugs come into their own. Rocket bots can be pretty weak too in a wide line. All the enemy has to do is in a pinpoint run grunts through, right? So if your opposition manages to take down a couple of your LLTs, the grunts have got an easy way through all your rocket bots. They can't really do that with thugs though. You can see it coming, you can group them up, they get smashed. So that's the use case of them. Heal them up, take the injured ones out, use the heal micro for them, and they're just not good at everything. Don't roll with them into the 20-minute stage, tech up. But yeah, thugs rule, man. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. As always, appreciate the support and the input. Leave a comment if you can, even if it's just my silly hat. The chain, is it big enough? I was thinking of getting a bigger one. I can be a thug, we can all be thugs in certain situations. See you next video.